对啊，从外。我把它丢去哪里？你都
哇，我太看头没，让我看出来了。
你是不是打不开？
我现在直接打爆。我只要你可是哦，就是说不要再管说它会尾音，可是它8点是哪一些？
那你吃到几点？
我就看书。今天可以不要。
哦，不是8点半看，然后睡，然后10点起来看，你睡觉。
但是10点是睡觉的话，看到是1、2点的时候是1点吃饭或者是这样。不是他早了，我没有睡到10点。
我在合理的怀疑是可以。我好想睡到12点。
可是我没有办法睡。
你要对自己有信心。
我顶多10点才睡醒。可是这时候
逼自己，你要把自己进入那个压力，让自己继续睡。
可是你不觉得就是到那个时间你再继续躺在床上也是会？
但是你起来，你起来就有一种很亏的感觉。
而且我跟晚上有2
可是因为你今天遇到会看到的，
可以，随便被打电话。
我晚上2今天早上3点。
你就公布了。
我号码是装，然后他就传消息说我已经好了，我没事，事情结束，然后就1点钟。
好像计划可能要提早。
然后我前头问进来说没有接到，早上没有分了，我晚上然后昨天我看了。
我刚昨天聊完之后，再睡就才我就晚上讨论才管，就是我在就是我今天早上说，还是说我今天早上，我今天没有我都闻得到，而且我的我来看医生，
然后你是有害羞啊？我从7点多，我操，天哪，太死
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Good? Great. Okay, so welcome to Multinational Business Management Week 4 lecture today. We finished discussion, if you still remember that, last week, we finished discussion on the first two questions, and so you know that some companies outperform others in industry because they possess certain bundle of resources, capabilities, organizational culture contributing to their competitive advantage, right? And to sustain the competitive advantage, companies can apply the VRIO framework to examine the strengths and weaknesses at the current status quo. Okay? But given the firm has done a thorough internal analysis to identify sustainable competitive advantage, but why still some companies that fail in the industry, just as the case you discussed last week about Starbucks. And from a practical perspective, why do successful companies sometimes lose their competitive advantage? Taking IBM, Nokia and Sony, for example, this company, they are once very successful as the market leaders, right? Especially in the mobile phone and the consumer electronic industries. But now they have gone to the bottom or even disappear, right? So these are very interesting questions. So that would be the third question we are going to discuss in the following. And according to the researchers in the field, they've come up with 3 possible challenges of sustainable competitive advantage. Inertia. Inertia means the difficulties or resistance to change. Okay? And prior strategic commitment means that the resources and capabilities that are being invested by the company based on its original strategic goals. Okay? And the third one, Icarus paradox. I don't know if you heard about the story. The Icarus paradox is derived from the ancient Greek story that a man called Icarus and used a pair of wings that made of wax by escaping from the prison. Okay? And he flew so well that he climbed higher and higher, even closer to the sun, until the heat of the sun melted the wax off his wings and plunged into death, into the Aegean Sea. This is something to tell you that the greatest asset of an individual or a company, for instance, in the stories that will be the Icarus' ability to fly, can cause his death or failure. Okay. So to explain the concept, it's better to give you some examples. So start from this example, the case of IBM. Do you all know about this company? So you know about this company. What's the company's business activities right now? Yes.
ERP support?
Support? What kind of support? Software support?
ERP.
Yes, they created the especially memory ERP system for the companies, right? So now they've been with the software company in the industry, but before that, actually I don't know if you know about that. This company was very good at manufacturing of the PC. It's not a PC, the giant mainframe computers in the early days. So you know IBM is an American multinational technology corporation founded in 1911, okay, about 111 years ago. Okay. And for the first 30 years since establishment, IBM was viewed as the world's most successful computer company, but its success turned into disaster in the year of 1992, okay? Because it lost about $5 billion and laid off more than 100,000 employees at a time. And the underlying cause of IBM trouble was the drastic decline in the cost of computer manufacturing as a result of the innovation in microprocessors, which is a tiny chip in the computer. So there will be a innovation about the computer making industry. That means that the narrow computers now can become smaller and smaller. And since then, the locus of computer market shifting from the giant laboratory computers to a smaller low-price PC. Okay, now everybody got the laptop, leaving IBM's huge mainframe operation with the decline markets. Okay. Although IBM had been a market leader in the large computer, it had failed to shift the focus of its efforts away from the original operation to PC and laptop market. You know that if you want to produce a large computer or the personal computer like laptop right now, you need different operational manufacturing process. You need different operational lines as well. And the reason why it was so difficult for IBM to change in order to adapt into the changing external environments and conditions was relating to its capabilities. As you know, we learned from our previous lecture that capabilities of the firm can be a source of competitive advantage, but they are very, very difficult to change. Okay. For instance, IBM always emphasized the close monitoring process on its operational units. It means that it has tight control of its manufacturing process. And such coordination skills and processes went quite well during the 1970s, when its worldwide operation in computer manufacturing required close monitoring and management skills. And also, most of its production line at then was in the United States. Okay, it's very easy to control everything in one nation. But such slow-moving and centralized decision-making and management processes become very bureaucratic after 1970s, especially during 1990s. When IBM started to expand its global market into other places and form the manufacturing plants around the world. It's really hard for them to monitor everything in one place. So that's the first reason why they fell in terms of the resistance to change. And in addition to the inertia problems, IBM also faced the challenges of sustainable competitiveness from its price to digital commitment. IBM had major investment in the mainframe computer production. When the market shifted to PC and laptops, it was stuck with the significant resources specialized to the original business, because its resources were not well suited to the newly emerging PC and laptop markets. Like I just said earlier, it's quite different skill set and manufacturing process in the between large computers and smaller computers. And so IBM had no choice but sold its drinking computer manufacturing business to Lenovo, the Chinese PC maker, in 2005. Okay? And Lenovo now is the world's largest PC vendor, which is a Chinese multinational. I don't know. Anyone use a Lenovo computer? No? Yes? Right? I had several Lenovo computers before. So you know that by the end of 2021, that is last year, around 1/4 of the global PC shipment were actually from Lenovo. So they are really the largest PC maker right now in the world. Okay. But by the way, do you know who are the competitors of Lenovo right now? Just take a look of the brand of your computer. Acer Group, yes. What else? ASUS, yes, they're both from Taiwan, right? Apple Computer, HP, Dell, right? So in fact, HP and Dell together, the three of them, Lenovo, HP, and Dell, they account for 2/3 of the global PC sales today. So the majority, the Acer, ASUS, and Apple is still the minority in the markets. Okay. And apart from the IBM case, two companies called Nokia and Sony. I think you all heard about these two companies, right? They were best known for their value in sustaining its competitive advantage. I have to say it's very ironic that when 10 years ago, when I was told by my professors the successful story of business expansion about these two companies, Nokia and Sony, but 10 years later, I'm teaching you the value case of this company, these two companies, okay? These two companies, they all face the problems of Icarus paradox, okay? As you know, these two companies, they are very successful in their history, especially in early establishment. Nokia had once dominated the mobile phone industry, and Sony had its leading position in the consumer electronic industries. And these companies become so arrogant by their early success that they believe more of the same tide of resources are the ways to future success as well. Okay? And however, they overlook the market realities and fundamental requirements for achieving competitive advantage. Okay? For instance, Nokia focused too much on the hardware. You know about that. They're very good at hardware. Anyone have had a phone of Nokia? Have you seen the Nokia phone before?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So what's the specialty of the phone?
Never break.
Yes, very hard and strong, right? So they're very good at producing this kind of hardware. And you know that Nokia, they focus too much on hardware. They ignore the emerging trend in mobile phone industry was the software developments. And thus it lost its market presence in new smartphone industries when it started from 2008. Okay? And I don't know if you know about it, Nokia was fully acquired by a company called Microsoft in 2014, right? But do you know why Microsoft acquired Nokia? You know about Microsoft, right? The operating system, your computer, mainly on Microsoft. Why Microsoft would like to acquire Nokia back in 2014? Yes.
Let me make a guess. Maybe they want to launch operating system on mobile phone platform.
Yes, that's the main issue because smartphone industry is kind of a booming industry at the time. Okay, and so everybody wants to take a part in the industry. So Microsoft is one of them. Microsoft would know they're very good at operating systems on any of the hardware, for instance, in computer. So they think about it, maybe we can acquire Nokia, could get a patent of Nokia, how they created the hardware, combine the complementary resources between these two companies, we can create a synergy to dominate the market in the future. But I have to say that 2 years later, Microsoft admitted the value of the position of Nokia. And now they sold Nokia to a Taiwanese firm. Which firm? In Taiwan. Acquired Nokia the second time. Yeah, Foxconn. They acquired Nokia in 2016. Okay. Again, I agree. I'm guessing that Foxconn also the reason why they acquired Nokia, even though they've been admitted by the Microsoft, it was a valid case because Foxconn also wants to get a part in the smartphone industry and still thinking about that maybe Nokia they still have some residual value than to be acquired, and it's much cheaper after the second acquisition. And on the other hand, Sony was so good at its technology in electronic product developments. Okay, the first music, I think the Walkman was firstly produced by Sony, right? And even had the technology and musical background to launch the iPod long before Apple launched this device. Okay? But Sony never did it by launching the new frontier products at the right time. Okay? It always lagged behind. It focused too much on releasing the cutting-edge hardware at the expense of releasing products on time and creating software. I think the main reason behind that is that it only focused on the management style of top management of the Sony team. Because if you think about, you know about Apple computer, right? You know about the top management of Apple computer. They are seen to led by a group of marketing geniuses. Okay, they very good at marketing their products, persuading the customers to purchase their products, even though you know their product is not perfect. So that's why they can sell you constantly different versions of iPhones year by year, and there's an improvement in their phone, so you will purchase it. But Sony is another way around. Sony, the top management of Sony is actually a group of engineers. Okay, when they want to release the products, they always think about what if the customer find out there's any faulty problems in our products. We want to release a perfect product to our customer, but they never did it before, because when you launch the product, your competitors already launched the product before you do that. So that's why they fail in the market, especially when they compete with Apple. So you introduce several value cases of companies and how they face different types of challenges, sustainable competitive advantage, including inertia, price, strategic commitment, and also the Icarus paradox. Okay. And now comes the solution part. How can these international businesses, such as the IBM, Nokia, and Sony, even Starbucks we discussed earlier, they can avoid a competitive value and sustain their competitive advantage over time? So here are some practical recommendations of the firm. Okay. So after conducting internal analysis to identify the firm's strengths and weaknesses, if you are a manager, you need to use the steps to escape from the failure and sustain a competitive advantage. Okay. So first of all, of course you know that maintaining competitive advantage requires the firm to continuous focusing on the development of the new ones. Okay. So a competitive advantage can't always be sustained in the long run if it does not fit in the VIO criteria. Okay, so not to mention that some competitive advantage may become disadvantages if the firm cannot be flexible in response to the changing external environments, such as the case of IBM you've been introduced. And secondly, as you know, change is a constant and inevitable in the business environments right now. Today's source of competitive advantage may soon be rapidly imitated by the capable competitors in the future. So in a dynamic, fast-moving industry, the only way that a firm can maintain its competitive advantage over time is to continuously improve its competitive position. So that's why we talk about the Google case in the beginning of last week, that even though Google has been the market leader, they still want to constantly acquire a lot of smaller companies in the industries in order to gain a competitive advantage at all times. Next, identifying and adopting the best industrial practices is one of the practical ways to develop a new competitive advantage. And it requires tracking the practices of other companies through the benchmarking. Okay. Benchmarking is kind of measuring the companies against the products, the practices, and services of some of its most efficient global competitors. So think about that, put yourself in the other shoes. For instance, if you are in the smartphone industry, and you are representing a local company called HTC. Do you still know about this company? So, if you are HTC, who are your competitors? First of all, identify who are your competitors. Of course, the leading smartphone devices right now, right? Apple will be your direct competitors. Huawei will be your direct competitors as well. So what you do is that you do the benchmarking, how far you, in terms of market size or market share, between you and your competitors, and how can I improve upon by benchmarking approach in order to shorten the distance between me and my competitors. Okay, maybe I can do some imitation of their products. Maybe I can do some very innovative marketing campaign in order to attract the customer attention, so on and so forth. Okay, that's called benchmarking. And the final approach here is to overcome the barriers of sustainable competitive, as we just been discussed. Think about the three barriers we discussed earlier about Icarus paradox, prior strategic commitment, and inertia. Just try to avoid them as much as you can. Okay. So the main takeaway is try to avoid being satisfied that while you have all time. Instead, you need to be prepared for any changes in external environments. And the implication here is that internal assessments on the firm's strengths and weaknesses is very much influenced by the external conditions. And so that's why we will spend the following lectures to talk about the analysis on the external environments of international business later. And before the final question will be discussed so far, here are just list of 4 practical recommendations provided by the textbook. But I only partially agree with this recommendation. Why is that? Because in my view, even if the company has done all of these practical suggestions, its success in industry can't be guaranteed. Okay? I believe luck plays a critical role in determining competitive advantage and value of the firm. Why is that? In the face of uncertainty, some companies just happen to choose the right strategy and they become successful, such as Apple's strategy in launching iPhones, right? And as the starting point of smartphone evolution back in 2008. And there's a stream of research, especially in the strategy fields, discussing the role of luck determining a firm's performance. And if you're interested, I can upload several papers to talk about the role. That's actually a group of studies talk about the role of luck in the strategy implementation process. Okay. So quickly finish the 2 questions we intended to finish last week. Any questions? No? I think we can move on to the next topic today. So what you have learned so far is mainly concerned with the internal analysis of international business. And by doing so, you were supposed to have better understanding of how to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the firm. But you have to know that the firm's strategy development and implementation will not only be influenced by its strengths and weaknesses, but also be affected by opportunity and threats from external environments. Okay? Therefore, in the lecture today, we will expand the discussion on later force. How to identify the strengths and weaknesses, and what kind of model or framework you can use. We will discuss the external factor concerning the industry and macro-level environment surrounding international business. And by the end of today's lecture, you will realize how to construct a proper SWOT analysis based on the radical framework models you learned from the lectures. And the diagram here shows the different layers of business environments. And usually when we conduct external analysis, we begin with identifying the industry in which the company competes before moving on to analyze the macro level environments. Okay. And what is the industry? Industry can be seen as a group of companies that offer pretty much the same products or services, satisfying the same basic customer needs. Okay. So when we talk about the industry level analysis, we usually refer to the analysis on the competitive environment of the firm, examining how the competitive landscape of industry affects the company's strategy and its performance. Okay. In addition to the industry analysis, we will also look at a wider picture on the macro level environment, which basically refer to the Pareto framework. I think you learned about it in other courses. So you include the political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal contexts in which the company industries are embedded. And from the diagram here, you can possibly conclude that any changes in these macro-level factors, they can have a direct impact on the attractiveness of the industries, which further determine a firm's strategy development and implementation process. Okay. So accordingly, here's a list of questions we are going to explore. So first of all, we'll discuss how to evaluate the competitive landscape of a firm, especially at the industry level. And secondly, how does industry structure affect the firm's strategy? And finally, how to identify the key drivers for change in the macro-level environments. Now imagine you are the manager of the company. I think you're familiar with this model, right? So how you can know how well is your company's position in the marketplace, and how competitive are your company relative to other players in the industry. Okay? All of which are concerned with the competitive issue or competition issues. And to answer the question, you may apply this 5 forces model by Michael Porter, right? And anyone learned about Michael Porter before? Raise your hand. About this model. I think most of you have learned about this, right? So, but how do you apply the model? How do you apply the model? If you want to apply the model, what would you do? So basically, this model, I just give you a conclusion, and we're gonna let you have some time for the group discussion on utilizing this model later, okay? So this model helps the company's manager examine the attractiveness of the industry in these 5 competitive forces, including threat of new entrants, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of customers and suppliers, and also, which sits in the middle, is the competitive rivalry. Okay? And these 5 forces together constitute an industry's competitive landscape. So if the environmental threats from these 5 forces are very high, you as a manager, you can conclude that this industry you are examining is not really attractive to competing. Okay? Why? Because there's too much competition and too much pressure to allow your firm to make the reasonable profits out of it. Okay? On the other hand, if the environmental threats from these 5 forces are not very significant, they are very low, then you may conclude that such industry is actually quite attractive for your companies to enter or stay in. Because the mild, the little competition can essentially offer you the firm very good profit margins. Okay? Since you all learned about this model, so let's open the floor for the group discussion right now. So you can see the next slide. We have a list of 8 industries on the slides. Okay? So we are going to draw lots to assign the industry for each of the group. Okay, so please now organize yourself into 3 to 4 students per group. Okay, and select a lucky person to make a draw for your group. Okay, just organize yourself 3 to 4 per group. So once you're ready, send the person to draw a lot.
Want to join again? Yeah. Sure. Okay. Okay. Right. So we should be. 他们没有办法抓一个变，是3分两组。Any preference? 还是你问那个阿毛都过，然后分两组。阿毛都过来分两组。
Okay, we have to go and draw. Is it now? I think so.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
你有组吗？现在没有，我们分两组啊。那怎么办？6个人，分两组。那你去哪里？啊？那我们。New subject, new. 那我们要怎么办？
Okay. So what you need to do is you need to prepare a 5 minutes presentation. And in the presentation, you need to do first of all talk about the definitions of your industry, so who are the key players. And secondly, utilize the 4 forces to identify the competitive running of the industry. And thirdly, you need to provide suggestions. Okay, for the companies already in the industry and outside the industry, what would be the monetary implication for them respectively? Okay, and of course, in these slides, please state your student number and names for each group, okay, and upload the slides into your core. So, how much time do you need for this exercise? 20 minutes? Will it be enough? 20 minutes?
30.
Oh, we have to make it very.
Half an hour? Yeah. Okay, half an hour.
So start at a certain
About what is it? Okay. So it's not like soup? No. Okay.
Medicines. So I think healthcare includes also
digital and
also the message.
maybe something formal. You know, you can take it anywhere.
So to focus on healthcare or choose
Did you find something from search?
or like collection of because I think flavor industry is too.
Maybe that's good to have. No, I just, I also just
because
searched on Wikipedia.
you guys
And otherwise I just wrote,
energy is a very
like, that we should have a definition. Something like the first thing we said was affordable social entertainment, but maybe we should do something more like
yes. Because if we consider all three, the players will be very large.
So definition is then videos,
No, if we are kind of traditional gas or crude oil, or if you are interested in something very cool, we can focus on maybe like the battery, used by
Okay, so so we have different categories. The first one is biocancer.
yeah, because that's the I'll try. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we have to do
I think that a lot of people take.
其实我觉得老师应该是想要看我们放一下，不然因为才20分钟。
有一个比较
我觉得应该
严格的
天然气的，
类似，就是讲的类
Okay. Yeah. Should we do like one right then, and then we say something or?
我做一下。
那个 healthcare 啊，它好像有包含，就是因为这样就会有对啊，会吗？像我们service
So it's very competitive, and I would say that they take customers from each other. Because they fight all of them don't hold any rights, like they buy the right for certain movies.
没有，我没学过这个。
太伤心。
请自己上去。
Yeah, but shit, this is that's the first part. So,
医疗器材。
对啊，那算是工业商吗？没有制药业的工业商，算医疗器材。还是其实那些
医疗器材其实。
都有啊。
Okay, should we do that? Then we can always
那个嘛，资料不对，资讯不对。对啊。所以基本上定价也是很贵。
Yeah, what do we call it? The owner, like that. Very high pay.
哦，你先写的。
对，我这都是照我的选项。
我们选一个。
就是它的历史是对这个系列，就制药业来讲，它的工艺比较没有影响。我觉得可能是制药厂有什么，它东西就台湾，所以是制药厂。我们现在是这样子，我以为是这样写，那个切。感觉 customer。
I mean,
就是两个都是
I
路
would say that self-care, like for me, I
我们也不会去医院跟他讲说这个要80块
but for me, sometimes some series that I want to watch, they change where they are possible to be streamed. So I could actually go with like change my supplier because I want to see certain shows. But at the same time, I think that it's still quite high because we are all quite fighting over the price. The customer pay us.
也不是那么气了。
可以先试，然后你找就是不要，就是我们你不是中性才吗？就我们
英文是猎人才。
如果有搞英文可以念，但是如果没有搞这样看下，我会，我想说我们开过了去打压讲，但是你现在给小我是可以的。没事，你可以讲吗？没有啦，我是说什么？我讲话有时机的，因为他们都是
没有，他自己在气势里。
我以为就是
他们我觉得我跟你讲，
对啊，因为前面就是猜拳嘛，如果大家都台湾人一人一人
我就5分钟。
就是我身上这些比较高的比较我是每次做都是
可有些会去做萃取，让它萃取出来的东西，萃取出来的东西比较少，跟它的品质无关。我觉得
精神的栽培。
政策。
这个都不要
他们找的少，找那个
政策吗？应该是这样。他这边写的。我觉得这个是搞不太喜欢写。就是就是我生产的这个药，它替代一样小，对。对，不因为前3点的话，前3点应该是这样讲，但他后面讲到我就不知道后面有没有。
那应该替代。
可是我们要调观点。但是夹了2个药厂，这样子会不会他同时开发一个更容易症的药？ 那这两个药不一样，这样算替代品。那这两个药算是？
这个应该是产业内的竞争品。对，就它是会在
哦，所以他们是这4个 logo。
这个现在还是到底是谁？如果这样讲，
我们第一个把第一个药，
可以药吗？然后不是有一样效果？
不要一样效。
这就是会变成但是短期内不用把一样效果拿起来不就行了？
那个我
像比方说像这个
对，我摸上来。
现有竞争者，我觉得算高了。
No, not right now.
我觉得竞争者不会是就我们看到同家药厂，他们如果没有固定开发出新药，所以就被其他家的药厂
还要全新。
要不然就是
药厂他们每个药，他们在开发到后来的前锋，叫大家类似在抽毛的概念，就你把它药物是有效的，其他公司不需要，然后他说他没效，因为他就没钱。所以我不知道这边要不要讲消费者对药的这个注册的问题，所以这个对他们来自其他同样现有竞争者危险。
有办法排除新药，就像你刚刚讲的。
对啊，但是因为他们有一块是，就他们有一块是，然后你刚才讲应该是他们单纯有些大厂就在制造这个，就他们不用特意去做研究，但是现在就我们刚才看到那几家，基本上都是在做。只是我不知道他们研发，就我知道他们有这一块。这个我觉得应该是强。
对啊，因为毕竟他们一起之内的。
我们刚刚已经讲到，
而且感觉消费要是
对，有看的是
就是其他的
开发出来都可以所以如果等于他有那个专利的话，
或者其他的
这里面是这样，因为他有
太影响
的话，他走
很容易。
但是应该算他的梦成员都申请到这个专利，因为核发他这专利也是这样，然后他就怕你们开这个药，然后就直接开始要卖很贵。
感觉可以同时一起，因为那时候讲
现在最适合的。
对，还是要
bargaining power 放在是所以他们能给客人的
我觉得先把这个先生出来，因为这两个之间我蛮
就是suppliers，而且它进货量少，它有些分价钱压太
消费者转换成本、认知的不同差异，然后替代品都很好，然后替代品相对的这样的效果，我觉得前面两个很像，就是这样的效果，
它的这个产品
就只是就像你讲大杯汉堡，他应该是在讲这种东西，但是我们现在麻烦是找不到要的替代品，不然就是要用西和中医去做替代。不然如果我们要讲说它弱的话，就会讲说它的替代品很少，就大家生病就是要使用它。不要再偷臭了，不要偷臭那就我觉得希望不要这么做。所以就main source of Taiwan大或小 new entrant
Or at the same time, like this new product, because that maybe that's not a substitute product, this new that would actually be like
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, but if you are not sure how to utilize the model, you can have a look at the supplementary reading uploaded onto NTO Core called Porter's 5 Forces Explained. Okay, so some of you already utilized the material for your discussion, right? That's quite helpful. It's actually 2 pages extracted from the Harvard Business School, okay, one of the consulting guidebook for your students.
So with our people who said good.
And I think that's one of the things that a lot of the viewers want to watch. So I would say like for the existing ones, like continuously as well as trying really the bit for like the series. You're not
就是4个弱的变成1个强的，是不是？
应该说他的
他也算强。
Maybe they start like what if they want to like actually, with the right, like
这个可以算是抢。
so that they go like,
新药开出来，别的厂商因为大家都在竞争，所以大家都会开出类似的消费者这个数据就是消费者一定会选最低的出来，先不就可能不会有什么品牌忠诚那些，所以他们相对来讲，消费者的价格会比较高一些。 但是就变成那个厂商是有点。
你说我把它创造那个消费者评价，
让你失去。请问他是，我先把这书过。我觉得我们把饲料如果把它变成亚油分成账号、金额、价格，看他们电脑就他自己都产品类型基本上都差不多。就看我们如果我们要一起的话，我们可以选择看把用到完全竞争市场，或者是把它定成成品市场，就会就变成一账号是50，
那我们就要去因为最主都想要有一个国际型的蛮大的，比较可是这算这个，那就是这个优势少一点。我觉得这个第三关可以好心，但是产业第二点但是因为他们一直在散，他们讲产业也是，它是有点像什么市场盘，就是你投再多的钱，它就会涨。但他们投再多钱，它会涨很多。所以我觉得第二点应该那个。
4 days ahead of time, you know, so you can please them, but like 4 days earlier. Because people that like really love a certain show, I think they would pick them.
是这样，他们报价有差异。教授有那我们就把它定义成第一个吧，就是对吧？有蛮多同样的技能。
感觉你可以选
Really?
对吧？
如果你的前提是完全在第4个产品数，
But what's like the definition? What would you say is like Korean drama? Like what is it? What is But I think it's getting bigger. But also, I think also before it's been very much, I think it's been very, very slow from Disney, but also other creators that like, it's now that like princesses are starting to be more like from all nationalities, and also like the actors, I would say that like that, like the whole actor market sort of shifted a little bit, that not everyone has to look the same, that it's more like people have a more combination, and also like the love stories from like I just love like creating your own stories.
我觉得最有，我觉得玩的很干嘛，就平常不会注意这一张椅子多少钱。现有大厂的建议，应该说就是现有这个给现有厂商。
So I think you can take a break if you want, okay, for 10 minutes, okay? And otherwise you continue the discussion. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
对啊，我们就要讲到很武断的话，就是社长让自己要的，其实是常用这个思路，说其他就是
competitor is just so much easier to do everything that's social. You have people who are HROs at the party, you'll just be like, great, let's do it in a week.
真的啊，你要做，因为你要就跟别人差不多，你要消费者要买，会选择买，也会买其他，可能就是你家公司通常会帮助一些其他的很穷的电动车，电动车是不是可以写来？好像都可以，对吧
？And the government gives out
没有，但是我昨天写。
没有，
我们去洗完吗？
两个之间关系，就是我们等下讲的时候讲那个关系。可是跟我说你想到怎么样，你就会想说
但是今天你要丢普拉特，但是普拉特每天都要花钱，可能救助日本的一些每天因为那种关节炎或是一些刺痛，这样相对来讲，他就贴在旁边就有种高相对来讲会比较小。因为他可能说什么我们要卖出一款药，我就5块钱给你，有实质比较多。
消炎剂肉类
应该说可能消费体验，但是它就消费体验那一块，可是你这边变成会就是说，那加进去。
Okay, so maybe should we start by making a slide like our name? Maybe we have video streaming as like a subject.
对家庭觉得快到这边的时候，就是我们刚才就也是，好像我们会讲这，那这样子反而会变成家居剧。
我先去把你这个线
这个是这边的人家为什么？
我有钱，那你才找我吗？
那你就直接变人家的股东。或是我们会说，要他们先掌握好属于他们自己的技术，再去跟市场上面的其他公司谈你讲的生意，因为他们有技术，但是他们没有钱和厂房去生产这个大量生产出来。
所以我们现在在干什么？
Oh, you tried it.
再用一个人他之类的。
我要这个我建议吧，就会建议他们要进来的话，你要有一些这个市场上其他人说。就是因为我今天我第一个新记者是他们之前用别人口在卖药拿上，他们可能自己有加入什么祖传配方之类的，类似我们第一层可能会变这样，对啊，就一些小企业、民生企业，对啊，他今天想要进入这个市场的话，那两个就是要把他的配方去跟现有的市场去做。策略就是我把我的配方借给你，那你帮我去做大量的生产，自己的优化。
所以就是他一定要与别人合作，就是消费者是个也是一个因为他就是一个回到特别到
药厂他们的，因为他们就我们前面讲到，他们的固定成本太高，所以不管怎么样，你进入这边都是要花，要么花很大量钱去把别人的药厂买下来，不然你就要花很多钱、很多时间去建立自己的药厂。对，所以我们给他们的建议就是，你先跟别人谈合作，如果做得起来，再设法可能自己小厂慢慢开始建，就慢慢开始建自己的小厂就行。
好，不要紧。好，过赛。
我去解释讲一下，就我现在脑袋好像就在这边，因为revenue within industry， 就还得
所以他是要有
You ready to write my last name also? Did you do it?
Yeah.
有点听到了。
Yeah, what's your name? Mine. What's your name?
没有其他个
研发成功。他可以是你的，也可以是他的需要研发能力的。
哦，好好好。
It's like the a whole other way to say it together.
那他们的那个也有我们是说华人。The very first
If you break your arm, you just rip it off.
？Yes, I love it like so much. Whenever I hear the name Monica, I think of her. And also, you know, the song.
所以他就觉得这个产品代表手机非常好，就是没有关系。但是有钱有学费啊，要管理建议是叫他们不要一次就把所有钱，到时候爆掉就去。分散风险的方法就是用这种方式慢慢进入市场，一般开始的时候直接。对啊，就可能就要被人接在后面，应该说接在。因为还要分散风险。对对对。
What do you like the most?
I never met like 这样讲到5分钟吧。
And even like that, like very
所以变这个市场就永远是钱啊。
or not I don't know, like when I check now in my bag, I'm not really sure what to wear, and I don't know if I ever will know what to wear because you know it's hard to bring everything in one suitcase. Really, like I have to wear maybe like a whole suitcase. Really? And I mean, you guys are already wearing long pants, and we're here shorts every day. And the nature is amazing.
对，我知道，确定不是这样写的。
No, we went to really? Okay, so no Oh my god, I have this friend. Like, there's a lot of people doing that.
相信你。
I would say, like, when I read about it, like students that have been here before,
你说你要在身上靠辅助的。
if you go like 15-20 minutes within the whole other environment, then you have a big city. I love the night market. And also it's really I have done one yet, but I have promised myself I need to. Do you like it? What's your favorite food? I thought about it like latest yesterday. I was down by the river, like did some jogging, and I just thought about it like because it was someone came with a bike behind me, and if that would have been in Sweden, quite close to me, I was like, you know, because in Sweden it's not, you shouldn't go maybe on your own late night when it's dark. We don't really have any surveillance like here. Here it's cameras everywhere, so I feel very safe, and I'm like, Sweden has been very safe, but it's starting to be like a problem with a lot of crimes now. I would say that if you're just in the right areas, you're safe, but like as a girl to walk on your own in the evening, then like I don't have any discipline or anything. Have you been through your whole life? And I think it's that like I talked about it like when you come here for 4.5 months, then you want to experience everything. So you're really like Googling and seeing like what's the best museum, where should we go hiking, like do everything. But I don't even do that in my own country. You know, I haven't seen anything back home. Like I don't know which restaurant is the best because it becomes so natural to you that you live there. So. Yeah. We're gonna go
Yeah, and then the island.
We're gonna go there. There. Yeah, and then we're gonna go here. You haven't been there. Have you been to any of the islands? Do you like it? Yeah. We also want to go to this one. Yes. Yesterday we burned a little bit. We forgot to tell you.
Yeah, it's that.
Looks good. Yes. But Did you, what do you do in the weekend? Do you go to the beach? No. Do you hike?
What do we do?
Do you go party?
Stay at home. No. Yeah, stay at home and do nothing.
And if you want to do, if you would like to do something extra, or if you have like, some extra days of school, what do you do anything like? Do you go shopping or do you go out for dinner?
Yeah.
Karaoke?
Yeah.
You love karaoke? Yeah.
我们俩现在想，我就现在想 menu 一下，那就是他要做出这个业务，
你需要讲好吗？
You don't really like that it's so
对，他
boring.
说他做的精美，
太难了，
他喜欢那些做的精美。
你需要介绍我吧？
对，我要做的更精美。介绍一下。
就是讲一下我们这个对啊，
好啊，你
然后讲的是
你是中央音乐，我大学是。
不用念中文吗？
但是你不同的系，你不认识他？
我们系里才130那个 level 3。
You know what? While it's raining, then in Sweden we have snow.
都边缘人没有。
So I think rain is bad.
130，很多人。
Snow is so freaking cold. Yeah, it's
Okay, guys, try to wrap up everything in 5 minutes, okay? And upload these slides onto your phone.
Okay. So the first,
when it's all white, it's beautiful. I love it. But in Sweden, it's like it's snowing and then maybe it's white for like 3 hours, and then it starts to melt, so it's just gray. But if you go to like somewhere where it's snow, like tropical snow, you don't go back, you don't go with bicycles. Yeah. Oh my god. Great girl.
Sorry.
and your student number, if you want. Okay.
So what one of your places that?
不要泡门槛。
是红地公。
好，谢谢。变成
Yeah, because it's the Here, everything is sugar. They look at you and you're like, no sugar? They're like, are you sure? I'm like, yes, no sugar.
他对着同一个人，不是。
我是15码。
Like, so it's like, for it to be an event, I think you need to like be able to talk price more than anyone else.
I was thinking about
没有，就照相。我不知道，看一下。他交易成本我忘记了，写都不写。
That's good.
Okay, so because this is my first time to create assignment onto your call, and obviously I don't know how to add the section that you can upload your file. You can't find a button to upload your file, right? So I'll suggest that you can save the file in any USB flash drive or anything online, and you could do your presentation, but use this computer later, okay? And you can upload your files later.
Will increase. Yeah, it's gonna increase.
Fancy words.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then people will find a way to.
是英文系还是外文系？所以要说你是对。Or English literature.
对啊，要讲是 literature，但是不用讲这个不要管，不需要他们做不需要。
可以啊，
你可以讲成成好大惊喜就好。然后我们组织是可以勾一个 sense， 然后讲专业一点的勾，或者是比较叫你为什么要讲这个？我就只有5分钟。
自我标就花3分钟。所以你可以在1分钟内讲完也是有厉害的。
因为一页至少1分最多就是1分钟，你就打开光。它的应该是但我另外一个，因为这个定义其实还蛮长的。
Okay, now you can submit your work online. I think I can figure out how to use it. Okay.
这什么东西掉了？
他的衣服他好情绪的，
我不知道。我很抱歉。
你对我没有意见？
没有。你不要跟我在讲。
他现在单身。他现在单身。
我们在讲，
不是因为他就是一部分。哎，我刚才
等一下那一部分是你负责，然后你别你讲我所以有病人就要吃。
我可以先讲。不要学我们在那讲的东西。
其实我打。你那时候我是不太喜欢。我也要告诉你，我有没有信你？ 那总会因为一句文字。
你现在可以传吗？